What is sufficient in American roots to meet and overcome wokeism? Affirm unconditionally and live courageously in the birth and truths of our nation's founded, created equal, endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights. That's a first step. That's a necessary step. That has to be a boldly and insisted upon and constant state of our being. I refuse any other definition of myself. Oh, you're white, oh, you're male, oh, you're heterosexual. I get accused often at least of 2 out of 3 of those. But I don't buy any of them. I don't buy any of them. I have only one identity, the common sense one, created. And then from there, I have secondary characteristics. And I hope I bring all of those secondary characteristics to the help of other people I know. This is what I hope. This makes every person great. It makes America great and will do so forever. It is the first and foremost requisite to protect and recover our country. Here are a couple of things which make our circumstance difficult. One is that the ideology is more diabolical than anything we've ever encountered before. David has made that clear. The other thing is that our present circumstances in the world make the simple act of establishing our affirmation of American founding and of our own experience of our love for God and life and faith. These are some of the things that exist in the world now that make it difficult. It's very difficult to be a champion of national sovereignty in an age of concrete global interdependence. We absolutely are interdependent. Even the economy, like there's a lot of anti-China stuff, and I get it and I'm with it. China's a virtually declared enemy of the United States, in my experience. But the interdependence of global economy makes the affirmation and effort to establish national sovereignty a difficult challenge. It must be done. It absolutely must be done. I think some little help toward that is a family of nations. I think a family of nations does some of the bridging that keeps us away from globalism, which is a real threat to national sovereignty. The other thing, that's national sovereignty. Privacy and personal guaranteed by the Declaration and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. There's a state-private behemoth of total surveillance and control. I don't think anyone in this room, if you do anything electronically, feels that that there's not some part of your life that is surveilled. I use VPN, but I feel like much of my life is surveilled. At any moment, everything is known about me. And so the affirmation of our founding documents is much harder under the current circumstances. Finally, the age of AI, social media, and transhuman medical technology and identity interference. This reality is another thing that makes it difficult. For example, suppose I get a bionic arm and to compete as a shot put guy. Or something. Do you see what I'm saying? These are the realities in which we're trying to find a way to make a simple affirmation of our faith, of our affirmation of God, of our pride in our identity as created, equal, free, and with inalienable rights. These make it harder. Plus the ideology is more diabolical. So then what in our founding documents, what our founders built this incredible country, what is sufficient? National sovereignty against globalism, privacy, private property, personal sovereignty against state and corporate controls, our God-given identity and value against identity politics. What is sufficient to keep those in check right now, given the circumstances I just described and given the ideology that David just described? Here, these are necessary and must be affirmed and must be always held up without even an iota of wavering off the center on these. But there's one thing that happened, and David made reference to this earlier on in the lecture. the unity in America towards a more perfect union that our founders identified in the preamble to the Constitution. Basically, the ideal the universal equality that our founders identified was able to, the slide on the left shows that the European Christianity that was nothing but war harmonized in the United States of America. The vision of America, the work of our founders, the work of the framers, the construction of the Declaration and of the Constitution was sufficient. Did anybody hear the 30 Years' War between the Protestants and Catholics at the outset of yeah. Do you know anybody know why it ended? They ran out of people to kill. There was no more people left to kill. They could not, the war ended not because anybody won. The population of Europe was decimated. That was Christianity. There's Christians. But in America, Christians get along. This was the vision of our founders, to find a more fundamental, what David referred to as civil religion, something more fundamental about our affirmation of God and God's love for us that makes us free, makes us equal, gives us unalienable rights, freedom to speak, freedom to gather, freedom of the press. These are unalienable. And the American founders recognized a more fundamental affirmation by which Christian parochialism finally died on our soil. And lovers of God are lovers of God, period, on our soil. This was the American Revolution. This is what made America the greatest nation on earth. It was the abandonment of small little differences, There's this, for churchgoers, there's this great joke about this guy's about to jump off of a bridge and some guy finds him and he goes, "What's your problem? Is everything okay?" He goes, "I've had a hard life." He goes, "Are you a Christian?" "Yeah." He goes, "Me too." "What kind of Christian are you? Are you Catholic or Protestant?" "Protestant." "Me too, I'm a Protestant too." "What kind of Protestant are you? Lutheran? Are you Presbyterian? Baptist?" "I'm a Baptist." "Me too, I'm a Baptist." This goes on and on. They're like, and he goes, "Are you Regional 3 First Baptist, 19th Nova Instruments?" "No, I'm a 1937. We have guitar in our church." "Die, heretic!" Kicks him off the prison. It's not a hard thing for Christians to find little things about one another, but in America they managed to rise above that. And what I'm saying when I'm talking about a new American Revolution is that's how America was formed, but this is how America evolved. Now, in the interim, in the last 200 years, every single type of human being has come to this country and has found hope and has found life. And they're here as Hindus, the richest Americans, right? They're Hindus, ain't they? Aren't they? Yeah. Taoists, animists, we're fine, you're fine here. There's freedom of religion here. We love one another. But still, the parochialism in religion still exists. It still exists. And what we were able to do once, to found the greatest country that ever lived, part of what we have to do now is to develop one more shot at getting rid of parochial bigotry. This is necessary. Right now, because you've heard from the content, you can imagine, we're very often in conservative environments, right? Frequently at our meetings like this, there'll be people that say they don't want to talk to you. If you don't know Jesus, they don't want to talk to you. I get that. It makes sense to me. I understand that. But we will die. America will die unless we can live completely into and completely up to the founding of our nation. There's a nation of religious freedom. And right now, do you think you're going to find people who love family among the African animists? Do you think they're family people? Tremendous love of family, respect for elders, respect for ancestors. It's unparalleled. You're my ally right there. I don't care. I hope you meet Jesus, maybe, but that's my affair right now. Our country is under such threat. I want to meet everybody that knows how to love their parents and love their ancestors. and every religion. And so I'm saying that what must happen now, an American revolution to meet what David has just described and win, is to have a new America capable of the same miracle of what stopped European Christians from fighting, and to build this beautiful country. The range of Christian belief in America is just crazy. And the harmony among Christians to make our country a safe and beautiful place to live and raise our children was remarkable until these type of demonic forces of woke ideology, standpoint theory started to divide us from one another. There's a second thing. So I'm saying that there's a step up. There's a step up that we need to go in, self-examine, and get to. It might be hard. It might be hard. Religious boundaries are hard. But we cannot afford at this juncture to meet as pervasive and as thorough a philosophical relativism as David just described.